Monaco, what can I say? Well, maybe because of the crazy rich Asian phenomenon in the past few years, whenever people are thinking about rich people, they might think they're from Singapore or other Asian countries. But to me, not even Singapore can top one country that truly defines the uber rich or the ultra rich. And here I am, the second smallest country in the world, Monaco. With the country so small, it is very tempting to think that its mere existence was either caused by some weird historical background or simply the byproduct of war that has led to some specifically made treaty. But surprisingly no. As a matter of fact, Monaco has been an independent sovereignty for more than a few centuries, with the exception of World War II when Monaco was briefly occupied by the Nazi Germany. Despite its close connection with France, Monaco remains a country after World War II. That said, there are no border controls between France and Monaco, which is demonstrated by the fact that I don't need to hand over my passport to any immigration after entering the French border of Nice. One interesting fact mentioned by my driver was the circular tunnel that I passed through to my hotel was actually located on both France and Monaco. No one of the roaming service kept sending me messages about where I am. I think even my device was confused. Even more confusing was the relationship between France and Monaco. In fact, Monaco's reputation as the world's safest city is no small feat. It boasts the highest number of police officers to its tiny population of just 38,000 people. But in terms of national defense, France is actually the protectorate of Monaco. So there's this subtle relationship where France respects Monaco as a sovereign state, yet shared many of the former's resources. But with Monaco's separate jurisdiction, taxation law included, and the latter's refusal to accept dual citizenship, this is getting interesting. But well, doesn't mean you can live here at will. You gotta have what else? Money, of course. At least you have to find a place to live, right? If you think Hong Kong and Singapore's properties are already two of the world's most expensive ones, think again, because it's almost like a surreal experience checking the ads in the Monaco real estate agencies. In fact, the average price for a 1 or 2 bedroom condominium here in Monaco averages between 3.2 million and 5 million euros. That's really insane. Monaco's status as rich people's tax haven is not a recent thing. Again, much as everyone considers Monaco as the richest country in the world, which it is, considering 40% of its population are actually millionaires, one thing that kept me wondering was whether there are any poor people in Monaco. After looking up on the internet, I found one article from the Business Insider. The answer is actually no. For one, the cost of living is so high that those who cannot afford already move to nearby Nice. You just look at these real estate ads that I have shot and you will know that it's impossible to live here without deep pockets. In fact, many workforce in Monaco actually travel to and from Nice, which is just a 35-minute car journey. For two, there are no income taxes in this country, and hence there are no statistics on anyone living under the poverty line. That said, the country has long been resided by the world's richest people, and the real estate development here are still very active. With limited land resources, it has, like other small countries such as Singapore, expanded its territory through reclamation. And as you can see from the footages right now, it will continue to change the landscape of this country. But we all know very well that just being a rich man's tax haven doesn't make this place any more legendary. It's because of its legendary status, whether it's the Monarch, the legendary Grace Kelly, or something that I would like to show you right now. This GP Formula One racetrack, which is just behind my hotel. Exotic cars, what can I say? I guess many people would think sports cars and luxury cars are synonymous with this country. With such an iconic Formula One racetrack, which Ferrari owner here will not demonstrate their skills along the track? Needless to say, Monaco has the most ultra-luxury and sports car relative to its population in the world. Well, maybe because of the population's love of ultimate driving machines, I didn't see a lot of EVs in this country, nor did I see a lot of charging facilities. That said, after touring around this country, I found the automobile demographics to be slightly different than I thought. Yes, quadricycles are a common sight here. These cute Renault and Citroën are everywhere, and considering the small and narrow streets of this tiny country, it's only sensible to use these small vehicles for daily commute, which essentially are bikes with four wheels. Also, budget brands like the Romanian-made Dacia are also not rare here, which is an indication of the Monegasque are actually quite practical people, right? But I know you won't forgive me if I'm not showing you all the craziest cars in Monaco, and hence I'm now taking you to a museum with all the collection of Prince Rainier III. Alright, these two cars, they're American cars, of course, from the look of it, and they have strong connection with the late Princess Monaco, Grace Kelly. For one, this is the Alpine Sunbeam, which if you are a fan of Alfred Hitchcock's films, you would have noticed that this is one of the car chasing scenes in one of Grace Kelly's Alfred Hitchcock's film. And this car was actually purchased by Prince Monaco to welcome the princess, which back then was still his girlfriend, when she visited Monaco. And this one Fleetwood was purchased separately. And I think it's not related to the love story of the Prince and Princess of Monaco. Alright, I mentioned that Monaco is a top place for those international sports events, right? Well, Monaco has always been a major organizer of international sports events, that's for sure. And apart from the annual Formula One race, the Monte Carlo Tennis Masters have also attracted the world's best tennis players to play in this prestigious event. And of course, the reason why I'm traveling to this country is to watch the final. Okay, finally the match is over. Tsitsipas won in straight sets, which I would say I'm not surprised, but at the same time I was a little bit surprised that this match didn't end up in 3 sets. We have to give credit to Tsitsipas for being so calm under pressure, especially those break points that he faced. Every time he faced a break point that Cathedral simply cannot convert all those break points in. I think if my recollection was correct, there was absolutely no breakpoints converted from Cathedral. So I have to say you have to give credit to Tsitsipas for being so calm and attacking every ball. So I have to say this is a really good match after all, despite the fact that it ended in 2 sets. Talking about the rich and powerful, another thing that Monaco is famous for is its monarch, which is brought to the world spotlight when Prince Rainier III married one of the most iconic Hollywood actresses, Grace Kelly, and hence the place I'm now taking you to is the Prince Palace of Monaco. Built in 1191 as a fortress of the then Republic of Genoa, it has been the home of the Grimaldi family, who captured it in 1297. And speaking of the Grimaldi family, it's time for me to give you guys some history lectures. The monarch of Monaco has been ruling the country since the 15th century, and the current monarch has taken the name of the House of Grimaldi, who purchased the Rock of Monaco in the 14th century from France. Unlike other monarchs in Europe, which has now retreated to become a symbolic ruling figure, the monarch actually has substantive ruling power in this country. By touring in these beautiful palaces, one can have a memory tour of this legendary monarchy, from the early days of the Grimaldi family to the current generation of the royal members. With such a breathtaking view of the palace, it is hard to imagine that Monaco actually has no heritage protection law, as one can still see lots of these beautiful architecture around the country. Like many countries that are located on the rocks, the architectural style of Monaco has a strong Mediterranean influence and, where else, Southern French. The extensive adoption of Belle-Époque period of France is prevalent all over the country, which can be demonstrated in the Cathedral of Monaco, which I'm now showing you. This is the cathedral where the iconic wedding between the Prince Rainier III and Grace Kelly were married. It is also where Grace Kelly was buried. Speaking about the car accident that took Princess Grace Kelly's life, my driver actually showed me the scene when the accident happened and shared with me the whole country mourns about the loss of the beloved princess. You can see from all the facilities named after her, as well as the Japanese garden that was created by her, that she has left an unforgettable footmark to the Monegasque and will forever be remembered as one of the most important members of the Monarch. Talking about Catholicism in Monaco, it is a country with 80% of its population being Catholic. There are more than 8 dioceses serving its tiny population, and I'm now showing you footages of my visits to a few different Catholic churches. And in the final part of this journey, I'm going to take you to 2 Michelin star restaurants in Monaco. Yes, a small country like Monaco still has around 13 restaurants that has the blessing of Michelin. The first restaurant I'm taking you to is the Table di Antonio Salvatore al Rampoldi, or simply called Rampoldi. According to Michelin's guide, born in the southern Italian region of Basilicata, Chef Antonio Salvatore has traveled incessantly, including Spain, England and Russia, where he finds a new owner of Rampoldi. As you can see from these footages, it has strong influence of Italian cuisine, and this red wine beef cheek tastes like heaven. And the second restaurant that I've tried is Le Grille. This restaurant is located at the rooftop of the iconic Hotel de Paris. And the moment that you step into the lobby of this iconic structure, you will be mesmerized by the extravagant design as well as the breathtaking ambience of the hotel. Once you've arrived at the restaurant, you get to enjoy this breathtaking landscape of Monaco, as the hotel is located in the mid-level of the rocks, and as the name suggests, it is specialized in grilled dishes, with a special emphasis on sourcing local produce for its starters to the main course. This grilled pigeon breast is considered to be the MVP of my lunch, as the pigeon is beautifully grilled and the meat is juicy and well marinated. Not to be missed are the famous soufflés, which has different flavors, and the one I've chosen is the vanilla one, which is one of the best soufflés I've ever tasted. So after staying in this country for a few days and did a little bit of research, whether it's the mild weather, the beautiful architecture, the breathtaking landscape, the impeccable public safety, and of course its tax haven status, I can see why this country has always been the paradise of the rich and famous, which is something that I can only dream of.